In today's video, we're checking out one of the best sounding EL84 tube guitar amplifiers I've had my hands on. This is the Hagerman PP12 Push Pull 12 watt amplifier head. The strength of this amplifier head is its simplicity. When you turn it up, it sounds great with or without pedals. You don't have to worry about having a million options or confusing EQ stacks or dials that don't add anything to the tone. On the front of the amp, we get a drive control, 2-band EQ, a level control which controls the master output, a clipping control which gives us 2 different gain stages, and this contour control on the right. Part of the secret of this amp's great tone is the contour control, and I'll cover that more in just a moment. I've been using the Hagerman PP12 amplifier over the last few weeks with different guitars through different speaker cabinets with and without pedals. And this has been one of the most versatile amps I've used in recent memory, and I'll showcase why within this video. I've also had the opportunity to test the Hagerman amplifier out with some friends in a live band situation, and not only did it keep up volume-wise, but it was also one of the best Stratocaster tones I've had so far. This amplifier handles pedals without any problems, but you don't need to use them, and that's one of the strengths of this particular amp. First up, I wanted to showcase some of the great sounding clean tones on the amplifier in its full power setting. This was recorded using a Shure SM57 and the Rode NT2A microphone. The dual clip option control over here sounds great in either mode. To the left or in the up position allows you to get more of that typical clean tone that you just heard before, and the more you turn it up, the more it sounds great. This is inherent of a lot of valve amplifiers, and on this particular mode, this amp works like a lot of regular amps. With the clip set to the high gain stage to the right, it selects the novel tube clipping stage, and this is very unique to this particular amplifier, is there's no diodes in this particular circuit. It's all tube based, giving the amp a harder mode of clipping with a lot more attitude. Here's a selection of straight out of amplifier blues tones without using any type of overdrive pedal in the chain. This is all amplifier. The flying V in this section sounded so good. Let us know what you think. Here we go. Part of the reason I was able to get such great drive tones is the fact we get this contour control over here. This is a little bit like its secret weapon. With it at 2 o'clock, you're getting the same sort of frequency response as you would if you added a clon to the circuit. This isn't adding drive, it's just adding frequency. Additionally, you can also get it to respond very much like a treble booster in the circuit, depending on where you have it, or you can mellow it out by turning it most of the way down. In combination with this drive circuit, you can get a lot of different sounds out of it. It really helps you cut the mix. Additionally, this amplifier is loaded with a Pentode Triode switch on the back of the amplifier. This allows the amp to run in either full or half power mode without sacrificing the tone. Pentode mode will give you the full 12 watts, which are surprisingly great for jamming or doing any type of live performance. Here's an example of the amplifier with some of the high gain tones running in the lower output Triode mode. I also boosted the lead tone using the Buffalo Effects Carrera Overdrive pedal, which is very similar to a tube screamer, just slightly modified. On the back of the Hagerman PP12, we get two separate outputs. We get our 8 ohm speaker output, which is designed to power a speaker or work with something like the 2 Notes Captor X. What makes this vastly different to all the other amplifiers that I've ever owned is it won't damage the amplifier head if the speaker's not connected to it. That's the first thing, that's awesome. Secondly, I can run a line out of the phones into my audio interface, PA system, or whatever the case may be, and get some tones recorded to the computer. You can add amp sims and so forth to it. If you're recording in a DAW, it gives you that flexibility, or you can run it through something like the Multicab 4 and get great tones as well. The fact this amplifier is designed so if you forget to plug in the speaker, it's not going to damage it, that's a really cool thing. Up next, I want to showcase some of my favorite tones when I use this amplifier in a live jam session we had here at the house, going through my Marshall cabinet, which is loaded with the Eminence Texas Heat. Now, this is a really great pairing, and with my pedal boards and Strat, it was some of the best Strat tone I've ever had. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, folks. My name's Shane. I'm going to wrap this video up by talking about the pros and cons of the Hagerman PP12 push-pull amplifier head. So the great news is the clean tones are extremely musical, as are the drive tones. So if you're a fan of just getting all your tones out of an amp, or if you like your favorite overdrive pedal to sound good on a crank tube amp, this is a really great option. It sounded unreal both through the Texas Heat speaker and also through the Eminence Swamp Thing. So I have no hesitations recommending this based purely on tone and functionality. Turn it on, turn it up, and it sounds good. So that's the best feature about it, in my opinion. There's only two things to really keep in mind. This doesn't have reverb, so if reverb's a huge thing for you, you might need a pedal to get that type of effect, or you can do what I did in most of these clips and just use a little bit of analog delay. It gives me a little bit of that ambient sort of sound that I'm mostly familiar with when using reverb. Although it is a different effect, it's the same sort of end result. It just makes everything feel nice. Secondly, there's no effects loop. So if you're an effects loop user and you can't live without it, that's another thing to know about this amp. But the contour control, the drive circuit all sound extremely musical, and I would have no hesitations recommending this. I really think that this is one of the best sounding low watt tube amps I've ever played. Let us know what you think. If you want to check it out, I'll link it below. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon. See ya.